Hey guys, welcome back to another Sunday night show. Right off the bat, before we go into the trades, I just want to give you guys a quick disclosure. The unfortunate part about talking about stocks and trades is sometimes your biggest catalysts are geopolitics. In this case, this is the current war with Russia versus Ukraine affecting all economies throughout the entire world. And there's no way in avoiding this topic, so keep that in mind. You know, just right off the bat, S&P futures, although they went down a little bit Thursday, Friday, they are still holding pretty strong. And we're going to see if they continue to hold strong. So you have sectors of the economy that are probably going to do really well, like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and things like that. The entire oil space is going to do well. And even despite selling in tech names, these sectors are probably going to do well with all the tension that we have going on. Before we get into any of that, I just want to let you guys know, those are probably the big trades I'm still watching, oil futures and S&P futures for this upcoming week. Other than that, let's go into some earnings. Monday is pretty much wash. Tuesday, I didn't really see anything worth trading. Wednesday, CrowdStrike, CRWD. That's right off the bat, you know, with cyber theft is going to be on the rise in the future, and this is a company that is trying to prevent all of that. I think also with Russian tension, Russia is actually a major area for cybercrime, and that might actually increase with all the tension that we're having. So let's pay attention, see if CRWD has a move just on this, but beyond that, we have earnings coming up, so that's why I'm watching that. Thursday, we have ALTA, we have JD.com, ALTA Beauty. You know, if you want to look as beautiful as Frugal Tiger, you gotta go to ALTA Beauty. JD.com, it's a Chinese name that has really gotten beat up and seems to not have its recovery in sight. So we're gonna see if this thing moves eventually. It's at 63 bucks a share, and most of the Chinese names are getting beat up. They might continue to get beat up over Russian tension, believe it or not. But I think the Russian war might actually be good for China. So just pay attention to some of the Chinese names. JD.com has earnings this week. That's what I'm watching. RIVN, ticker symbol RIVN. This was a huge moving stock last year, you guys. But at this point in time, RIVN has been basically beat up for some time now. It rose to like 170 and just had a straight bleed out. We'll see if earnings can change the momentum for a day, maybe a week. But so far, a lot of selling is in place with this stock. Ticker symbol RIVN, another EV play in the automotive space. And we also have Oracle. Honestly, okay, you know what? Skip Oracle. It's not worth it. So the next stock I want to talk about is ticker symbol FIZZ. A lot of people started drinking some of FIZZ products. If you drink FIZZ related products, I think they make LaCroix, believe it or not. I like LaCroix. It's kind of at a resistance, a support level right now around 42, 44 range. We'll see if earnings can break FIZZ above this 42 to 44 range and see if it can continue a run higher. It has some pretty sharp sell-offs, you guys, so just be cognizant, keep that in mind. But it's definitely an earnings play for me to watch now. So remember, Wednesday we have CrowdStrike, Thursday we have ALTA, we have JD, we have RIVN, we have Oracle, and we have FIZZ. On Friday we have WeWork. WeWork has a straight bleed out. If Masayoshi-san has any hair left on his head, these are probably gonna, go away very rapidly. He's gonna be totally bald from front to back over the performance on WeWork. Just a bleed out since its IPO. Ticker symbol WE. We're gonna watch that on Friday and see how that performs. I wanna talk quickly about some potential bouncing stocks. I would be watching Square. Square has moved above $100 after a very, very steep sell-off. It was around 90 when I mentioned it a few weeks back as a potential bounce. Let's see if it continues its bounce above 106. Snowflake has had a huge sell-off. And it's a Warren Buffett stock that he started buying around $250. You can potentially get it cheaper than he's been accumulating it at. right now at 209. You know, it's had a huge sell-off. It's a tech name. People try to categorize it as the same space as Palantir. It is not. But right now, this is another thing I'm going to watch. It hasn't had a bounce yet. It could continue to bleed out. You guys can short the current momentum on Snowflake if you think it's going to bleed out further, but I'm definitely going to watch this, waiting for it to turn around before I buy it. Last stock I kind of want to talk about as potential bouncers are names that haven't been bouncing in a while. There's two. Boeing. Boeing is a large manufacturer of planes. They're actually a stock that benefits heavily from war, as well as war supplies, providing supplies to you know, other countries at times of war and things like that. So I'll watch Boeing. It has not had a bounce from $300 a share. I did a special video on Boeing probably 3 years back now. It has not bounced since that time. We'll see if tension allows this stock to have its bounce. Lastly, Twitter is a stock that does well when there's a lot of action and user growth. And a lot of times geopolitics is what causes Twitter to do well. Twitter did really well under Trump's presidency. And we'll see if it continues to do well, or, you know, we'll see if it can get a bounce, I'm sorry, because it's had a huge sell-off from 60 bucks a share down to $33. It still looks like the bleed out is in place, but this is something I want you guys to pay attention to as a potential tension stock. Okay, same is true with Facebook. We'll see how the social media plays do well under tension. And so watch Facebook, had a huge sell-off. It's holding above 200 right now, I think, unless I looked at the price wrong. Yeah, it's holding above 200 right now, but we'll see if the sell-off is in place. I don't have positions in any of these right now. So full disclosure here, these are names that I'm watching for a potential trade. So I want to finish this week and talk a little bit about momentum. What seems to be running, why I think they're running is Lockheed Martin, ticker symbol LMT. This is obviously a major beneficiary during war. They make fighter planes, things like that. A large research company, you know, they hire a lot of engineers, build a lot of products, planes, things like that. They are usually a huge beneficiary in war. Ticker symbol LMT, and of course Raytheon, ticker symbol RTX. These are the momentum names. So if there are names to watch so far, the main trades that are currently prepared and you would be in the trade as it's still going, LMT, RTX. Those are the two I'm watching. But most importantly, I mentioned earlier on in the video, is S&P futures and oil futures. But oil stocks themselves, enormous momentum. These are the trades you need to be watching. $115 a barrel oil is a huge price in oil. And it's going to take the entire oil complex up with it. Oil going up helps these companies because they're able to perform what's called oil arbitrage. What that means is they immediately jack up the price of what they're selling oil at the pumps at. I think in California we have $7 oil at the pumps. I don't even want to look at what the price is here in Vegas right now, if I'm being honest with you. I haven't needed to pump oil in some time. But we have $7 oil in Cali. Oil's going to be huge here. These companies are able to perform arbitrage by immediately increasing the price of oil. Even though they've probably refined it, you know, a month or 2 months back, they're able to almost immediately make it higher, and they don't necessarily lower it right away. Even when the price of crude oil drops down to like $70 a barrel, they'll still sell it at these ridiculous prices. This is really inflationary. Usually, you know, it's a very negative thing for the overall market to have oil this high, because consumers have a lot less money to be spending on, you know, discretionary expenses and things like that. So just keep that in mind. This is very inflationary. This might, it might put pressure on the Fed to increase its interest rates and pare back its bond purchases earlier, because we have a major catalyst for inflation right now. Anyway, I want to keep talking because these are the stocks to watch for oil. Here's my two largest ones. CVX, Chevron is probably the best one in my opinion to trade. ExxonMobil is probably the next one. Those are the two names, heavy momentum in all of them. If you want to trade oil directly, you don't have access to futures. Remember, you have USO. I personally just trade the futures rather than trading USO. And the last two I want to talk about are Devon, ticker symbol DVN, and ticker symbol PXD. These are other two oil refinery companies that you should be paying attention to. This is the momentum trade right here. Oil, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon for this upcoming week. Best of luck till next week. Remember to trade your oil trades, trade your oil stocks, Chevron, Exxon, trade your defense trades like Lockheed Martin, LMT, and Raytheon RTX. And don't go broke. I'll see you guys next week.
I just want the money.